The courtroom is abuzz with whispers, the sort that hold both fascination and judgment. The walls soak up each sound, each nervous gasp. Meri Brown sits at the plaintiff's table, her back straight but her eyes ablaze with years of silent suffering. She's standing in opposition to his shadow for the first time in her life. Kody sits opposite her, arms crossed, jaw set firm. He resembles a man attempting to reign in a tempest, but everyone in the room understands, today, the storm is not outside of him. It's within. Robyn sits next to him, holding his hand securely. Her lips move, voicing prayers no one hears. The judge clears his throat. Mrs. Brown, are you ready to go on? Meri gets up slowly, her heels clicking the tile, each step ringing out like a countdown. Yes, Your Honor, she replies. Her voice does not tremble. Not today. The voice of the narrator interrupts gently. For years, Meri was the quiet one. The loyal wife. The forgiving spirit who saw her world unravel one lie at a time. But today she's not here to forgive, she's here to reveal. The first exhibit is laid out on the table, pictures, text messages, and lastly, that envelope. The same one from the hook. The courtroom seems smaller now, as if the walls are closing in. Kody looks at it, his confidence wavering for the first time. Meri, please, he says quietly enough for her to hear. You don't need to do this. She rolls her head slightly. You should have considered that before you lied to us all. Gasp ripples across the courtroom. Robyn's eyes go wide, her fingers shaking on Kody's hand. The judge nods to Meri's lawyer, who begins pacing slowly. Your Honor, this case isn't just about broken promises. It's about deception that has spanned years, and a truth that has been buried deep inside the Brown family. The attorney stops, and the silence hangs heavy. We will establish today that the basis of this family, and even the fatherhood of one child, rests on lies. The courtroom breaks out. The phrase paternity of one child strikes like lightning. Kody's face turns red with anger. Robyn sits stiffly, unblinking. Meri returns to her seat, eyes brimming but determined. Flashbacks flash in her mind, images of Sunday dinners, laughter that was almost real, and moments when she had told herself that Kody still loved her. But behind every smile, she realizes now, was distance, and Robyn's shadow growing larger. The narrator relaxes. There once was a time when Meri thought that love could mend anything. But where lies become a marriage's vocabulary, truth becomes the only weapon left. The defense attorney, a tall figure with piercing eyes, rises. Your Honor, this is a private family issue being manipulated into a public spectacle. My clients, Mr. and Mrs. Kody Brown, have suffered enough media humiliation. This alleged DNA evidence is immaterial. The judge leans forward. If it's irrelevant, Mr. Pierce, you'll have the chance to prove it. But the court will see it. The crowd murmurs again, reporters scribbling, cameras flashing. Meri's lawyer walks toward the evidence table and gently opens the envelope. Inside, a white paper marked with official seals and numbers. Meri sees the paper go to the judge. Her heart constricts. This is it, the moment that has lingered over her for months. The moment when she knew that love had been substituted with betrayal so profound it rearranged everything she ever thought about family. The judge reads, his eyebrows furrowing. Then, his eyes slowly rising. Mrs. Brown, he tells her, are you sure you want to pursue this avenue of evidence? Yes, Your Honor, Meri answers unyieldingly. The world needs to know who's been faking to be the victim. Kody's attorney protests, this is character assassination. But the judge holds up a hand. Overruled. Go on. Meri's lawyer takes a deep breath. Your Honor, the DNA results confirm that one of the children, legally acknowledged by Kody Brown, is not biologically his. The words hit like a thunderclap. Gasps echo through the courtroom. Kody's jaw drops. Robyn's face goes white. Meri looks down at her hands, unable to look anyone in the eye. Kody bangs his hand on the table. That's a lie. I raised that child. Mr. Brown, the judge admonishes, keep a rein on yourself. Kody scowls at Meri, voice trembling with anger. You're killing our family. Meri finally speaks up, her voice shaking but firm. No, Kody. You killed it the day you preferred lies to love. The narrator's voice becomes deeper, slow, and haunting. In every story, there comes a moment when truth steps out of the shadows. For the Browns, this is that moment. The court recesses. The hall is filled with reporters pursuing responses. Cameras click as Meri emerges, paying no mind to the queries. Christine and Janelle stand by the doors, their shock and solidarity a mixture on their faces. Christine speaks softly, "You sure about this, Meri? This isn't just exposing him, it's exposing all of us." Meri sighs, wiping her eyes. "I'm tired of protecting people who never protected me." Janelle nods, putting a hand on her shoulder. "Then let it all come out. Every bit of it." Outside, the wind howls against the courthouse steps. Robyn and Kody stand apart, she's crying, he's furious. "You said it was taken care of," she whispers. Kody doesn't respond. He just looks at the crowd that is gathering around them, his perfect world shattering at the seams of reality. Inside, Meri glances up at the courtroom seal above the judge's bench. For the first time in years, she feels free. But the narrator's voice whispers softly, freedom always comes at a price, and for Meri, that price is just starting to reveal itself. The judge puts down his gavel once more. Court is now in recess for 24 hours. We will resume tomorrow at 9 a.m. to hear the response of the defense. The courtroom slowly empties. Meri remains in her seat, her mind whirling. The heaviness of the day rests upon her shoulders, but beneath that weight, there's a spark, a quivering strength she hasn't known for years. The narrator's tone relaxes once more. She thought bringing Kody out would be the key to peace. But sometimes, bringing out the truth only brings out more secrets hiding in the shadows. As the lights fade and the camera pulls back from Meri alone, the ring of a phone buzzing interjects the silence. She looks down. A message appears on her screen, "You don't know the whole story yet. Meet me before court tomorrow." It's about Robyn. Her breath hitches. The screen goes dark. Outside the courtroom the night before, the air is thick, as if the sky itself is taking a deep breath, hesitating. Meri waits in her car, hands clenching the wheel, staring at the words shining on the phone screen. "You don't know the whole story yet. Meet me outside court tomorrow. It's about Robyn." She reads it over and over again. The number isn't stored, but how it's written, tranquil yet imperious, makes her shiver. She pauses, then types back, "Who is this?" No response. The voice of the narrator interjects softly, "In the world of truth and lies, silence is sometimes the loudest answer." Meri breathes deeply, gazing at lights from the courthouse in the distance. Her world has already been turned inside out, but something in her belly says this isn't finished. Not by a long shot. The morning after, the sky is gray, clouds draping low across Flagstaff. Meri goes into a still diner just across from the courthouse. The aroma of coffee and fried eggs wafts through the air. It feels normal, but the strain within her causes every second to be sharp. She sees someone sitting in the back booth, a woman in a hoodie, sunglasses still worn despite the gloomy day. Meri goes in slowly. The woman glances up. "Meri, it's me." Meri stands still. "Christine?" Christine takes off her sunglasses and nods. "Sit down. We have to talk before court begins." Meri slips into the booth, racing heart. "Why the message? Why the secrecy?" Christine moves forward. "Because if Kody or Robyn were to find out I was here, they'd try to intervene. And because I discovered something they never intended for you to find out." She shoves a tiny flash drive down the table. "It's all on that, messages, emails, even bank transactions. Robyn's been hiding things, and not only about that DNA test. Meri gazes at it. What sort of secrets? Christine's voice drops. The kind that might compel the judge to reopen the whole case. Later that morning, in the courtroom, Kody and Robyn show up hand in hand, faces pinched with strained calm. Robyn's makeup can't conceal the circles under her eyes. She looks over at Meri, who's already in her seat, and for a moment, there's something close to fear in her eyes. The narrator's voice changes, colder now. Every look in this room holds history. Every quiet holds guilt. The judge appears. Court is now in session. The gavel falls once, and the tension snaps back into the air like a pulled too tight wire. Kody's attorney stands. Your Honor, my client has a statement to make. The judge nods. Proceed. Kody stands, adjusting his tie. I've been framed as a liar, a manipulator, even a poor father. But let me tell you one thing, I've loved every single one of my wives, and every single one of my children. Regardless of what this DNA test says, it doesn't change who I am. Meri regards him warily. There's something practiced in his voice, too slick, too rehearsed. Then Robyn rises, tears in her eyes. Your Honor, we are not monsters. We are a family. We've been assaulted by the media, by ex-wives, by everyone. But this, she points towards Meri, this betrayal is tearing us apart. The room whispers. The audience witnesses Robyn's tears, but Meri witnesses the years of manipulation she's endured. Meri's attorney rises. Your Honor, prior to the court hearing any further emotional appeals, we have new evidence, information directly linking Mrs. Robyn Brown to hiding the truth in this case. The judge scowls. New evidence? Yes, Your Honor. The attorney picks up a flash drive, Christine's. It has documents indicating that Mrs. Robyn Brown knew about the DNA problem way before Mrs. Meri Brown found out about it, and that she tried to cover up the findings. Gasps ring out through the courtroom. Robyn's eyes go wide. That is not true. Kody's head jerks in her direction. What is he saying? Robyn's face contorts. I didn't want anyone to get hurt, but it's too late. The words remain suspended in the air, damning in their uncertainty. The judge leans forward. Mrs. Brown, are you admitting that you knew the results before this trial? Robyn's hands tremble. I didn't know what to do. I was afraid. Meri sits in shocked silence. She believed the hurt could not cut any deeper, but with Robyn admitting it, realizing she kept it from her, it feels like another betrayal heaped on top of years of lies. The narrator relaxes, bringing the audience closer. Sometimes betrayal doesn't roar. It whispers through the voice of someone you once trusted. Kody thumps his hand on the table. You knew. You knew this the entire time and didn't say anything to me? Robyn starts sobbing. I was trying to protect you, Kody. You were losing it, the family was losing it, I thought if I just kept quiet, things could just go back to normal. The judge pounds his gavel. Order. Mr. and Mrs. Brown, calm down. But the harm is done. The throng of onlookers buzzes louder, phones capturing every moment. Meri sits quietly, tears streaming but unbroken. This is not satisfaction. This is not revenge. It is a sluggish, painful justice, the judge recesses. Journalists spill out, cameras popping. Kody bursts from the courtroom, doors crashing so loudly they ring down the corridor. Robyn trails behind, weeping. Meri remains sitting again, gazing at the vacant witness stand. Christine sits beside her softly, gliding into the seat beside her. You all right? She whispers. Meri nods, yet her voice is breaking. I thought this would be easier. It's not. Christine places a hand over hers. That's because truth doesn't mend immediately. It scorches first. They sit in silence. The camera lingers on their faces, two women bound by pain, but finally united by truth. The narrator's voice turns reflective. Once upon a time, These women shared one husband, one home, and one dream. Now, they share something much stronger, the courage to face the truth, no matter how much it hurts. Just as the court recess nears its end, Meri's phone buzzes again. Another message, from the same number. You've only uncovered half of it. Robyn wasn't working alone. Her breath catches. She looks up slowly. Across the room, Kody is staring straight at her from the hallway, his expression cold, unreadable. The narrator's voice drops to a chilling whisper. Sometimes the biggest secret isn't what someone hid, it's who helped them hide it. The courtroom hums more loudly than ever. Over the night, the case went viral. All the late-night talk shows, all the forums, all the Sister Wives fan sites are ablaze with one query: who else knew? While cameras flash, Meri enters the courthouse once more. Her expression remains placid, but her eyes have changed, harder, icier. She's not entering war today, she's entering reality. Christine stands at the front of the room, a slight nod of recognition her only gesture. Janelle sits discreetly in the rear, hands folded together, not sure which side of history she is on. Kody comes with his attorney, his face impassive. Robyn follows him back, eyes puffy from tears. There is something disconnected about them, two individuals standing on either side of a shattered bridge. The judge slams the gavel once. Court is in session. Everyone sits down. The air is tense, heavy with unspoken words. Meri's attorney stands first. Your Honor, before we go any further, we have a new witness ready to take the stand, one who can clarify the evidence that was brought yesterday. The judge raises an eyebrow. And who is this witness? The doors creak open. A dark-suited man enters slowly, holding a folder. The room falls into silence. Robyn's mouth opens. No, it can't be. Meri glances up, confusion and fear swirling in her chest. The bailiff calls out, Mr. Nathan, Robyn's previous legal counsel and family accountant. Nathan gets up onto the stand, nervously pushing his glasses up onto his nose. He glances at Robyn, then Kody, then the judge. Your Honor, I worked for the Browns for more than 7 years. I managed finances for Kody and his wives, including Mrs. Robyn Brown. The attorney advances. Did you ever come upon any information about the DNA test at the heart of this case, Mr. Nathan? Nathan pauses, then nods. Yes. Robyn instructed me to arrange to send money to a private laboratory in Arizona, off the record. She wanted a secondary DNA test conducted under wraps. A buzz passes through the courtroom. Robyn's hand shoots to her mouth. Meri leans forward, whispering, she did another test. Nathan continues. Yes. And that second test confirmed what the first one did, that Kody is not the biological father. The judge's expression darkens. Kody's face twists with rage. You're lying, he shouts. This is all part of Meri's game. But Nathan holds up the folder. This is the payment record, Mr. Brown. From Robyn's personal account. And your signature is right here. The whole courtroom is paralyzed. Kody's attorney leaps to his feet. Objection. My client hasn't verified that signature, but the judge cuts him off. Mr. Brown, is that your signature? Kody pauses. His throat constricts. I sign a lot of documents. It could have been anything. Meri's attorney jumps on the opportunity. You want the court to think that you signed off on a private DNA test for your own child, paid for by your wife, without having any idea what it was for. Kody scowls, his jaw quivering. This is a setup. You guys want to ruin me because I left. The narrator's voice becomes keener. When a man builds his world on control, the first thing he fears losing is power. The judge brings up his gavel. Enough. The evidence stands until proven otherwise. Proceed. Robyn's eyes skitter around the room, looking for rescue, for someone to say something. But everyone's looking at her, even Kody. His gaze isn't warm anymore. It's icy. Betrayed. Meri relaxes back, taking deep breaths. For the first time, she senses the scales beginning to tip. Not for her, but towards truth, Nathan goes on, voice shaking slightly. There is more, Your Honor. Mrs. Brown told me to make sure the results of that test were never revealed to the other wives. She said if Meri were to ever discover it, it would tear everything apart. Robyn's face contorts. I was defending my family, she wails. Meri stands up, rage building. Defending your family? Robyn, you deceived all of us. You stood by while I lost everything, my marriage, my faith, my peace, and didn't say a word. Tears stream down Robyn's face. You wouldn't get it, no. Meri's voice breaks but remains firm. You don't get to say that. You had everything while the rest of us were shattering inside. The judge slams down his gavel once more. Mrs. Brown, please maintain order. But the harm is already done. The crowd senses the emotion like electricity, raw, real, unfiltered. Kody remains frozen. His face is no longer angry, it's hollow. He's like a man who witnesses his world crumbling brick by brick. Robyn takes his hand, but he withdraws. The narrator slows, the tone laden with tension. For years, Kody's wives competed for his attention. But now, they compete for their truth. And the one person he believed would never do him wrong has just done exactly that. Kody's attorney requests a short recess, but the judge will not grant it. We proceed. Nathan places another sheet of paper on the table, a letter. This was emailed from Robyn's email address to a private contact, the day the second DNA test arrived. The message is, he can never know. If he does, it will be all over for all of us. The courtroom erupts in commotion. The judge demands silence. Meri shuts her eyes, tears rolling down her face. This is not victory, it's tragedy. She's not seeing an enemy defeated, she's seeing the family that once loved her go up in flames entirely. Kody looks at Robyn, trembling. You lied to me, for how long? She cries. I was afraid, Kody. You were already out of control, Christine was gone, Janelle was leaving, Meri was shattered. I didn't want to be the cause of everything crashing. Kody's expression sets. You already were. The judge at last calls for a recess. The courtroom slowly clears, with people murmuring and cameras popping. But the Browns remain behind, sitting in silence, surrounded by the specters of all they've lost. Christine moves up to Meri silently. You okay? Meri speaks in a whisper. I figured uncovering the truth would make me lighter. But it only reminds me of how much we all lived in lies. Christine nods. At least now, no one can say you didn't fight. The crowd disperses as the judge collects his papers. Tomorrow, closing arguments will be heard by the court and it will be decided if the evidence supports further investigation of potential fraud and concealment. The camera focuses on Kody and Robyn sitting separately for the first time, both in silence, both shattered. The voice of the narrator drops, on the verge of a whisper. This family was once a beacon of faith, love, and togetherness. Now it is a warning, that secrets have a way of breaking even the strongest walls. Meri's phone buzzes once more on the cusp of the screen going black. A new text, you think it ends with Robyn? Look closer at Kody's past deals. The real betrayal began years before you existed. Meri stares at the screen, heart pounding. The narrator pauses. Sunlight in the morning hits the courthouse windows, chopping the air into beaming gold. Reporters gather at the steps outside, microphones reach like grasping hands toward anyone with the Brown surname. Silence is what waits within, squeezed, vibrating, ready to shatter. Meri walks in alone. Her phone is still in her hand, the last text burning on the screen, look closer at Kody's past contracts. She hasn't told anyone yet. Not even Christine. Her lawyer's already flipping through files, unaware that a new secret sits in Meri's pocket, one that might change everything. The judge enters, gavel striking once. We'll resume testimony. Meri's attorney stands. Your Honor, we have examined new evidence uncovered last night, money contracts related to Mr. Brown's media business with the Sister Wives production company. Kody bristles. What contracts? The attorney waves a fat binder. The ones you signed as Brown Enterprises, 5 years ago, just prior to the family's move to Flagstaff. A murmur of whispers washes through the courtroom. Robyn's face goes pale. The attorney goes on, voice steady but incisive. By these papers, Mr. Brown negotiated separate appearance incentives with TLC, bonuses for each wife, but diverted the payments into one private account in his and Mrs. Robyn Brown's names only. Meri's breath is caught. Christine covers her mouth with her hand. The judges frown. Are you accusing financial impropriety? Yes, Your Honor, the attorney responds. While the rest of the wives were informed finances were divided equally, these contracts tell a different story. Mrs. Meri Brown's portion, which was almost $80,000, was never put into her account. The courtroom breaks out. Cameras click, reporters mutter frantically. Kody bangs his fist on the table. That is not true. I handled everyone's accounts, we agreed to it. Meri gets up slowly. We agreed because you said the checks were the same. Her voice shakes but remains steady. You looked us in the eyes, Kody. You lied. Robyn starts to cry. Kody, say you didn't, please. He doesn't reply. His eyes dart from the contracts to the judge, and then the cameras. Sweat forms along his hairline. The narrator's voice lowers. For years, Kody played the role of provider, protector, patriarch. But behind every man who hides the money, there's usually something far more valuable he's trying to protect, his image. The judge signals to Meri's lawyer. Proceed with evidence. The lawyer clicks a remote. A slide appears on the courtroom screen, bank statements, transfer receipts, all leading to the same destination, Brown Enterprises LLC. Kody murmurs something to his lawyer, but the lawyer just shakes his head. The narrator's voice becomes more pointed. Sometimes it isn't the DNA that breaks a family apart, it's the signature at the bottom of a contract. Christine rises from the audience. So that's why you always used to tell us not to ask about paydays, she ejaculates. The judge attempts to silence her, but the feeling in her voice cannot be stifled. We trusted you, Kody. You said family came first before money. Kody spins around to her, cracking voice. Christine, I did what I needed to do to keep us afloat. The show was imploding, someone had to step up. Meri interrupts, blazing eyes. No, you stepped up to seize control. You craved power even when you didn't need the cash. The room goes quiet. All that can be heard is the buzz of fluorescent lights. Robyn finally breaks the silence, whispering. Kody, please, say something. He doesn't. He simply buries his head in his hands. The judge rubs his chin, clearing his throat. Mr. Brown, these discrepancies in the finances could be fraud. Do you want to say something before I have this passed on for further investigation? Kody raises his head, his voice empty. I never meant to hurt anyone. I just wanted to save what we created. Meri's voice shatters. You didn't save us, Kody, you saved yourself. Her attorney moves forward once more. Your Honor, the blending of forged financial records and hidden DNA samples indicates a repeated pattern of dishonesty. My client demands a complete audit and public admission of wrongdoing. The judge nods. Granted. Court will order financial records from TLC and related parties. The crowd buzzes again. Christine breathes a sigh of relief, Janelle dabs away tears. The narrator also slows, softer now. Finally, years of whispers, Meri has evidence that her suffering wasn't madness, it was manipulation. But triumph in truth never tastes without loss. Outside the courthouse recess, chaos erupts. Fans yell questions, flashes ignite. Meri waits on the steps, reporters buzzing. Meri, Did Kody steal from you? Is the family over? Will there be charges? She doesn't reply. She simply gazes out to the horizon, where storm clouds billow over the mountains. Robyn comes up behind her, speaking softly. Meri, don't do this. If this gets out, Kody stands to lose everything. Meri whips around, eyes weary but gentle. He already lost, Robyn. The instant he chose lies over love. Robyn's head shakes back and forth. You don't get it, he was afraid. The producers threatened to cut him if the family seemed shaky. Meri's brow furrows. So he sold us to keep the cameras rolling? Robyn whispers, he thought he was saving us. Back inside, court resumes. Kody's lawyer requests leniency, painting Kody as a man under pressure, manipulated by contracts and fame. But the judge isn't moved. The narrator's tone hardens again. Excuses are just prettier words for lies. Then Meri's attorney drops the bombshell, a chain of emails between Kody and a network executive, evidence that he traded family secrets for a solo spin-off for himself and Robyn. Gasp rings out. Robyn covers her mouth, whispering, you said that was staged. Kody stands there, staring at her, his eyes wide. I didn't know they'd discover it. Meri's voice shakes. You were going to replace us, even before you broke up. The judge raises his gavel, striking once for order. We will recess until tomorrow for closing statements. As the crowd files out, Kody remains seated, gazing into space. Outside, rain starts to fall. Meri walks out into it without an umbrella, the raindrops combining with tears she doesn't even think to wipe from her face. Christine follows her, putting an arm across her shoulders. Christine murmurs, you did it. You showed them the truth. Meri shakes her head. No, Christine. I just demonstrated how far we fell. The narrator quiets, voice like withering thunder. Every courtroom has winners and losers, but some truths leave no one standing tall. Only honest. That evening, Meri sits at her hotel window, observing lightning flash beyond the city. Her phone buzzes one final time, a message from the same unknown number. You think you've seen the worst? Tomorrow you'll hear Kody admit it himself. Her eyes widen. She whispers, what does that mean? The narrator ends the scene low and slow. Tomorrow, the truth won't need witnesses. It will speak from Kody's own mouth. The last day starts with clouds, thunder rumbling somewhere outside the courthouse. The structure feels different this morning, weightier, as if even the walls sense what's about to happen. Reporters fill the steps once more, their umbrellas unfolding like black flowers. Inside, seats are taken. Meri enters first. Her eyes are red-rimmed, but her back is straight. Christine and Janelle enter close behind them, their faces set in quiet determination. Robyn sits off alone up front, fingers wringing a tissue until it's nothing more than a wet string. And then, Kody appears. He doesn't swagger today. His shoulders are slumped, his suit wrinkled. The court quiets as the judge sits down. Mr. Brown, the judge instructs, voice steady but not cruel, you asked to address the court prior to closing arguments. You may go ahead. Kody stands up slowly. His hands shake as he holds the microphone. Your Honor, I can't fight anymore. They need to know the truth. A murmur circulates through the courtroom. Meri lifts her chin, watching him intently. Kody swallows hard. The DNA report, it exists. The money, the contracts, those as well. I lied because I was afraid. The show, the audience, the stress, it all grew larger than us. I wanted to cover something, but I went and ruined everything. He breathes unevenly. A few years back, before we relocated to Flagstaff, the network approached me with a deal. They told me the viewers were losing interest in the plural marriage theme. They needed concentration, me, Robyn, the new children. They told me it would modernize the brand. So I acquiesced. I promised them I'd keep the family unit on camera intact, even if off camera. We were crumbling. Meri's eyes constrict. You forced us to live a lie. Kody nods. I did. Every dinner scene, every confession, they weren't genuine anymore. They were scripts I wrote to present us as though we still believed. The judge rocks back, eyebrows creased. And the forged financial reports? Kody breathes out. Those were included in the same arrangement. I funneled the money so the others didn't wonder where it was going. I figured I could keep everyone paid equally in the form of bonuses, but when the ratings fell, those checks stopped flowing. He glances at Meri. I continued pretending because I did not want you all to go away. But you already had. Robyn breaks down and weeps. You told me it was the network's doing. Kody turns to her, his voice cracking. It was I, Robyn. I let them dictate everything. I assumed that if we pretended to be happy, we would be happy once again. Christine shakes her head. Happiness does not result from contracts, Kody. Happiness results from honesty. The narrator's voice drops to a lower tone, softer now, and honesty was the one thing that never made it into Kody's script. The judge clears his throat. Mr. Brown, do you understand the legal ramifications of these confessions? Kody nods. I do. But I'm done hiding. The lawyer for Meri stands. Your Honor, my client demands restitution and recognition of the damages incurred, both emotional and monetary. The judge glances at Kody. Do you agree to settlement negotiations? Kody nods once more. Yes. Whatever they require. Meri sits by him, tears shining. I don't want your money, Kody. I just wanted you to own up to what you did. The courtroom goes silent. The judge makes a few scribbles on his paper, then places the pen aside. This court will take your word as an admission of liability. Proceedings will continue with recommendations for restitution and family counseling. The gavel comes down once. The sound rings out like thunder. Reporters dash out to report the news, Kody Brown admits. Sister wives' secret revealed. But within, no movement. Meri remains still. Kody remains stuck in position. At last, she approaches him. I spent years trying to figure out what I had done wrong, she murmurs. Turns out, it wasn't me. Kody gazes up at her, eyes empty. I know. And I'm sorry. For everything. She nods slowly. Sorry doesn't mend trust, Kody. It just shows you recall shattering it. Then she turns and exits. Outside, the rain has ceased. Flash bulbs click as Meri walks into the light. Christine and Janelle stand beside her, like two stern sentinels of fact. Reporters cry out questions. Meri, how do you feel? Is this the end for the Browns? She turns and looks into the eye of one camera and just states, this isn't the end of the family, it's the beginning of honesty. The audience falls silent. For once, there isn't one person yelling back. The tone of the narrator changes. In every family based on secrets, the truth will come eventually. Sometimes it arrives with a judge. Sometimes it comes with a storm. Meri heads to her vehicle. Behind her, Kody stands on the steps of the courthouse, shoulders rounded, a man at last stripped of each role he ever had. That evening, in her house again, Meri sits in front of a fireplace. The flames dance against the pile of papers she carried home from court. The DNA report sits atop them, unopened once more. She picks it up, looking at it. Perhaps it no longer matters, she whispers. The truth is not in this paper, it's in all that preceded it. Her phone buzzes. It's a text from Christine, I'm proud of you. You've done what the rest of us couldn't. Meri smiles slightly. Then a message comes in, again, from a number she doesn't recognize. You think it's over? There's more you don't understand. Look on the second page of the contract. Her smile disappears. She pages through the folder, and there it is. a signature she's never seen. She breathes softly, "Who the devil is our Henderson?" The narrator's tone gets low and quiet. Just when peace starts to settle, truth reminds you it's never really done. The screen goes black, music building, so soft, so haunting. Then the voice comes back one last time, calm and contemplative. "This is not a story about Kody or Meri. It's about what happens when faith gets replaced by fame, when cameras take the place of communication, when lies become better than love. Families crumble not due to distance but due to silence. And perhaps the ultimate courtroom isn't made of wood and marble, it's made in the heart." The credits start rolling in slow motion, the background flashing images of past sister-wives moments, happy dinners, laughter, and confessions that now haunt like specters of a lost life. Then, the last line on the screen.